middle school parents, here's what your students learning about this week at Connect. This week's emotion is a heavy one. We'll be talking about sadness. And while most of us don't enjoy feeling sadness, it's absolutely necessary. Just like all of the emotions that we've discussed so far, sadness is an emotion that God created each of us to feel for a very important reason. It helps us better connect to those who are around us and the world on a deeper level. Scripture gives us a handful of accounts of even Jesus feeling sad. One of the more well-known passages being whenever he approaches Mary and Martha after their brother Lazarus has died. It's in this passage that we find the shortest verse in Scripture: Jesus wept. You see, Jesus knew what was going to happen. He knew that he was about to raise Lazarus from the dead, but he felt sadness. He was empathizing with what Mary and Martha were feeling for his dear friend. Jesus' sadness in that moment helped him better connect with those two, as well as the other people around him who were mourning and grieving the death of Lazarus. In the same way, our sadness has the ability to help us connect better with others and even have a deeper or a different perspective of the situation at hand. Each week we've used a couple clips from the movie Inside Out, but for sadness, we're really going to be leaning into kind of the message that the first Inside Out film gives. For those of you who maybe haven't seen the first Inside Out film, the entire film is centered around one emotion, joy, trying to push down the emotion of sadness and not allow the main girl, Riley, to feel her sadness. By the end of the film, Joy, Riley, and Riley's parents all have a mutual realization that sadness is an emotion that we can ignore. In fact, we have to feel it, because when we don't, it just makes everything worse. So keeping all of this in mind and reflecting on our elephant in the rider, this is actually a path where we want our elephant to be able to move a little bit, to be able to experience that sadness, and to be okay with that. Our path for sadness should include an acknowledgement of what is making us sad, an ability to feel that sadness, and then an anchor to the truths that are bigger than ourselves. Now, what I mean by truths that are bigger than ourselves are things like God is love, God is just, God is powerful. All of those things remain true even in our sadness. And those are the things that we need to remember that will help pull us through that emotion. Some of our students really need to hear this lesson this week. They need to hear that they have permission to sit in their sadness. And when we do sit in our sadness, God will reward us with a deeper connection and a deeper understanding of the world that we live in. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this video can spark some awesome conversations between you and your student.